America, best country in the world. Since I have spent my whole entire life on the other side of the globe from the US, this country is completely foreign to me. I have been in America once, which was an event, and some of the footage in this video will be from my trip. It was around 2 years ago. I, as a kid, saw America through movies and through books, through the media, until a few years ago on TikTok, I started seeing all these videos of like weird things in America. I was so flabbergasted when I saw them. I was like, what is this? So naturally, I decided that I have to start creating a list of all the strange things about America. You know, as one does. So this video will be a look into my list that I've been creating for 3 years. We're not going to look at all the things on the list because that would take quite a long time. Some of them are more absurd than others. Some of them might seem very logical to you and might just be confusing to me. Side note, I am from Latvia. That is a really silly petite country on the eastern northern Europe next to the Baltic Sea. So that's where I spent my whole life, far from America, far away. Yeah. So let's just start. Kettles. This is such a funny thing because kettles are just a part of European culture. Like, it doesn't matter where you go, in every single hotel, there will be an electronic kettle you can use and like 2 tea packets so you can make some tea.
After traveling to over 40 countries, this is the most consistent thing we have seen in almost every hotel, Airbnb, hostel, booking, anywhere we've stayed. That the United States people, we don't have these in our homes. None of my friends growing up, Jeremy's friends growing up, you ask anybody right now in the United States, and I'm gonna bet you maybe 1% has this. You ready to see it? What the heck? This is a water heater. So you plug it into the wall, you put it on this little base right here, you get instant hot water. But why don't Americans use it? Because we use microwaves like crazy. Microwaves are like the biggest use in the American culture. We heat up our water for soup. We heat up our water for ramen. We heat up our water for tea. We heat up our water for everything in the microwave. I've just spent time in England and Ireland and all these places, and they look at you like, ew, you microwave that? We just go on the kettle.
And this is one of the first weird things I saw about America. It was this girlie saying that she microwaves her water. I got like really confused. I was like really lost. I was like, why would you microwave water? Like, what the fuck? In Europe, everyone uses kettles to boil water. And if you like need to cook something, then you'll just like boil water in a pot on a stove. Like, you'd never use a microwave for it. And some people don't even have microwaves. Like, kettles are in every household. Microwaves are not in every household. And recently I got a chance to talk to an American, and she said that, yeah, everyone boils their water in microwaves or pots, and kettles are like non-existent. And my guess, personally, of the reasoning why they don't have them is that they just don't have that big of a culture around drinking tea like we do in Europe, because in Europe tea solves everything. In Europe tea is literally the cure to any disease you could possibly have. Like, it's traditional medicine. It's the epitome of traditional medicine. It doesn't matter if my throat hurts, if my head hurts, if my stomach hurts. Tea is the answer. And there's going to be like 7 different herbal teas you need to drink to cure it. That's just how it is in Europe. Or at least in Eastern Europe. I mean, in Western Europe, I think like if we're talking about like UK, they just have like that whole like tea thing. Like, I'm not even going to get into that. Like, and I also wanted to do some extra research on this. And what I found online is that apparently the reason why there's not a lot of electrical kettles being used in the US is because there's a difference in voltage from Europe and America. Because in US, they use a smaller amount of voltage than they do in Europe. And electric kettles are designed to be used on 220 to 240 volts. The electrical system in the US operates at 110 to 120 volts. So, second point is weird toilets. This is something I got from my experience in America. And first I heard about this also like on the internet about how like you know those pictures where there's like huge gaps in like toilets in like stalls in America, and I was very lost. I was like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, what do you mean? The idea of stalls is that you don't see inside, and I was just very, very, very lost. And then I went to America and I entered like a random like fast food place. I don't remember what that is. I do not remember what this place is, guys. I wish I could tell you that it was like some specific like Taco Bell or something, but I don't know. I genuinely do not know. However, I do have this amazing video of me like filming the bathrooms and how there's like, you can just like see through them. Like you can like take a picture of someone through them. And doing research on this on the internet, I found a very sad truth. And the truth is the reason why the stalls are like that is purely just because it's cheaper to create them like this. It's cheaper to be able to see through since you don't have to use that much materials, which I was just like, the way this would never work in Europe. Like the way this would never happen in Europe. Like in Europe, there would never be an establishment where you would just like have like a hole in a bathroom just because it was cheaper to create it. Like it's not even funny. That would just not happen. That would just not happen. Like it's more likely that an establishment just would not have a bathroom if they can't afford to have one rather than having a shit one. Like I just can't. And the funny thing our family friends said when they moved to America is they said in America their toilets are very low and their beds are very high. And I've been thinking about this ever since, because the moment I entered a hotel in America, they actually are insanely high. And when I tried to find information on this on the internet, I was faced with a very interesting piece of information on my favorite website ever, Reddit. I have developed a new phobia, and I'm literally never opening Reddit again in my entire life because I was mindlessly scrolling through people explaining why some beds are high in America and why some aren't. And I stumbled upon a story where someone said that the beds in America are high so the rats can't get into bed. And then they shared a story of how their aunt was sleeping and she woke up and a rat was biting her foot. And then she lost a leg because of that. The thing is, I wish I made this up. I really wish that I made this up, but no, here's a screenshot. Here's a screenshot of the text. The whole fucking thing. I fucking hate the internet. I hate this place. Who, what? Guys, I'm literally never gonna put my feet outside of my blanket ever again. It's gonna be I used to be scared of demons getting me. These are not demons. These are rats, guys. The next point is wearing pajamas everywhere. This is very unusual for Europe because we have a very, since birth, this idea of getting, looking presentable is, encrypted into our brains. In Europe, almost no one will go and wear leggings, to work or to school unless they are, going to the gym and they're doing sports or they are a 12-year-old. If you're a kid, people excuse kids for everything. They don't care what kids do. And I never really thought that this was true because I just saw this on TikTok. I saw this on TikTok and I was like, what are the odds? What are the odds that people actually go to school in pajama pants?
And why aren't you in uniform?
I feel like everyone in their life at some point has maybe gone to school in a pair of sweatpants, leggings, pajama pants, But that's like an exception. You know what I mean? That's like one time. That's a one-time thing in Europe. That's like, oh, I felt so bad today. Oh, I was feeling sick today. It's not the kind of like, oh, so I like go to pajama, like in my pajama to school every single day thing, which it is apparently in America. Because once again, I asked an American about this, and what she said was, yeah, people separate their pajama pants for the pajama pants that they wear outside of their home and the ones that they wear inside of their home. Which, I mean, you know, at least I appreciate the fact that they are not taking all the microbes of like the outside world into their home. Like, I'm happy about that. But then it also is like, if you're gonna change your clothes anyways, then why won't you just like put on a pair of like normal pants? You know what I mean? Like, then I just don't get it. And the American I was talking to, she said, well, but pajama pants are comfortable. Okay, well, is normal clothes like not comfortable? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like, to me personally, putting on like presentable clothes, like looking presentable every single day, nicely every single day, makes me want to leave the house. Because if I don't do it, if I would literally leave the house in pajamas every single day, I wouldn't want to go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, getting dressed is just a reason for me to leave the house. Like, to me, it's like, okay, I look good. I have like my favorite sweater on today. I'm wearing a very nice pair of jeans. And I feel good about myself. Like, it makes me feel good about myself. And another thing I want to say is that I saw this TikTok of someone talking about how, like, in Europe, everyone gets dressed up. And an important note I would like to say is that maybe to Americans, this seems like dressing up, but to us Europeans, it's not. It's the norm. It is the norm here. Like, of course, no one walks around in a suit and a ball gown. Like, that doesn't really happen ever. Like, no one would really do that. But wearing, like, a pair of jeans and, like, a button-up or, like, a polo shirt, that's, like, normal. I'd say in Europe, the main thing is that, like, as long as your clothes are clean and, like, properly taken care of, no one's gonna bat an eye. Like, as long as what you wear feels intentional, it's fine. Like, I have worn my pajama pants to school. Like, I've done that, but not because they're comfortable, because they look cool. Just because, like, it's a cool outfit and, like, you make it look cool and it's intentional. Not in a way that, like, oh, I'm, like, comfortable. I don't know. Like, it's another, like, I also just feel comfortable in my clothes. Like, I've never experienced wearing jeans and been like, oh, this is so uncomfortable right now. I don't know. Like, maybe that's just me. Like, I don't. Now for the next whole part of this video, there will be a theme, because I started writing about this and I just could not stop, because I just kept coming up with more and more things that I find weird about this. And this is I'd say, shopping culture and like food culture very specifically, but just like shopping in general. And first thing I'd like to bring up is Walmart. So in Europe, we don't really have stores where you can buy absolutely everything. That is just not really a thing that we have. And when I was in Walmart, that was genuinely one of the most surreal experiences of my entire life, I would say. Because can someone explain to me, how can there be a store where on one side of the shelf they're selling fishing equipment, on the other they're selling safes, and on the other side they're selling guns? And honestly, guns can be a whole separate part of this video, because like, can someone please explain to me that, like, why did the motel I was staying in had to like specifically clarify that the guns are banned? Like, I just, like, you know, like, my European core can't comprehend that there has to be like an explicit sign banning guns. You know what I mean? Like, that is just feels like a bit like that should be the norm, you know? But like, you know what? I'm going to let you cook, guys. Let's go back to Walmart. So personally, when I was in Walmart, I just didn't really like the vibes. It just feels very strange, because it's huge. Like, it's actually massive. And I would so get lost if I would have to go there often. I think I would actually get lost like every single day I was there. However, I do see how this would be comfortable though. Like having one store where you can get absolutely everything does seem comfortable. It's just that in Europe, it's more like the culture of like going through different stores and going to like especially small businesses is just more like encouraged. Like people just do that more often, especially like old people. They only go to markets. They only go to like farmers markets and stuff like that. It's just like we don't really have that. Macy's or Dillard's, these two stores actually were the biggest jump scare of my entire life. I have never felt so scared before because first of all, once again, they're massive, and second of all, they are filled to the brim. This is the most capitalism induced place I've ever been in my entire life. Like the moment you enter, you just feel like them trying to get all of your money from you because they have not wasted a single square like millimeter of that whole like place. It's just full everywhere. You can barely walk through it without like bumping into the clothing racks. And that is like I was in shock, Loki. Like that was actually, I don't know, maybe this is just me. This is just a me problem. But I find it so hard to be in places that are like chaotic, when there's just a lot of clothes and it's all just thrown onto like the clothing racks and it's just a mess. I find it really, really challenging to be in those places. Like I really need order. And when it's not there, I get really lost and confused. Like every single time it's like sales and stores and or like a Primark or something, bro, I get so scared. Like this is not exclusive to America. Like Primark gets the same treatment. Like this is also a really scary place I don't want to be in when there's like sales going on, because it's just deadly to be there, honestly. Someone packing your groceries. This is very, very interesting to me, but I'm pretty sure this depends on the store, because when I was trying to do like research on this online, that's what people on TikTok said, that like depends on the place that you go to. In Europe, no one ever packs your bags for you. You always have to do it yourself. I personally just feel like if someone packing groceries for you is just going to take a long time. Maybe that's just me, but like I feel like you packing your own groceries is just more efficient. There's nothing wrong with someone packing your groceries, and I can see how that can be helpful, but I just feel like it's more efficient to do it yourself, because like you can just like quickly put it into the bag and walk away. But I feel like waiting, and it also makes like a line. Does it not? Please, someone who's like been to like stores where they pack groceries for you, does it make a bigger line? Because I think it does. Like it shouldn't it? Like otherwise it makes no sense. I don't know. All the food is insanely huge. I think this is something everyone has talked about already, but this is still the most fascinating thing there is to me about America as a whole, because like, like I cannot comprehend this. I cannot for the life of me comprehend this. I was very, very confused about this, and I have been confused for a very long time about this. Because first I was like, well, is it that Americans just eat more than Europeans? Which I don't think that's true. Because like, don't Europe and America have like the same daily calorie intake? Because I think we do. Like, I don't think Americans eat more calories than like an average European. But I just don't get it. And then like I asked an American about this, and what she said is that the reason why the food packaging is bigger is just because American families are bigger. That like an average sized American family is like 5 people or something like that. Or like, you know, because like, and I was like, what the fuck? Because what she said basically is that usually it's like parents who have kids, and then they either have like, they're like, I don't know, aunt or uncle living with them, or maybe they're like grandparents living with them. Families are just bigger, or just like like parents in general have more kids than they have in Europe, which like, because like an average, I don't know, like, which once again, I don't understand. Like this is just like, is that really the reason why? Because for this, I couldn't really find any like actually applicable like reasoning, because I kept searching this up and I don't fucking know. Like maybe I should look this up again later, but I'm still not sure exactly why. But okay, sure. If that is the case, let's believe that's the case. So then like the average pack of like lettuce in America would be bigger than the average pack of lettuce in Europe. That makes sense just because more people would eat it than in Europe. Right. Yeah, you see I can understand that. But that does not solve the mystery of why are the portions so big? Cuz when I was in America, I was shocked. I was genuinely so shocked by the sheer size of their meals because I would go somewhere and the fucking meal would be crazy. It would be so fucking huge. But once again, I don't think this is just an American thing because it's pretty similar in the like UK as well. When you go to the UK, the meals are also huge. But America was just different. Like the size of the meals there was just different. It was fucking insanely huge. I don't know. I'm just like, maybe that's just a me problem. But like, I want to hear people's experiences in America. Did you feel like the foods are bigger? Like, did you feel like the meals are bigger? Because I think they are. Like, I genuinely think they are. And like, maybe my other guess is that we are just more used to eating less. Like, I have no answers for this one. I genuinely have no answers. I'm just confused. Like, are we used to eating less food than they are? Do they just eat more? But I mean, another thing, this is like everyone says this, everyone talks about it, is that Americans just eat more like fast food than Europeans do, and Europeans tend to cook more, which I guess it is true. Like in Europe, we do mostly cook our own food. Like it's very rarely do we actually go out to eat somewhere or order something. It's like people cook most of the time, and people also grow a lot of their food themselves. Like we don't go to the store for everything. Like we grow some of the things ourselves, or like we go to markets and we buy things from like farmers markets, and that's like completely normal. Like every single average person goes to like the market, and they're also very like accessible. Like we don't need no Whole Foods in this country, because like what Whole Foods? You just go to like the local grandmother and she just like gives you things because she like grows crazy shit in her garden. Like actually, I'm not joking. You just go there, she just gives you like spinach that she has grown and like rhubarb that she has grown, and you're like, oh, thank you. Thank you. I think this really short list of things will be enough for today. I have more. Don't be alarmed. If you like this video, then leave a comment, like the video, subscribe. I don't know, all that like influencer stuff. You can do that. But I'm gonna go now, and I can make a second part if you like this, guys. But thank you. I hope you have a good day.